Welcome to the TKC Bible Reading Challenge, powered by Grace Bible Mission. My name still remains Orlua, and here with me is
Bright.
And we are still reading from the book of Numbers, from 34 to 36.
So we'll be taking you through the book of Numbers 34, 35, then 36. So Numbers 34 actually talk about how the Israelites how they were to divide the land, the promised land, among themselves. So God appointed Joshua and Elijah, and they were told to appoint one leader from each of the tribe to be involved in the division of the land.
And this was to like avoid conflict.
Yeah, conflict. Then Numbers 35 talk about how each of those tribes are to separate cities for the Levites. So each of those tribes are to separate cities for the Levites. So, and each of these cities according to the largeness of each of the tribe. So they are to separate. And in addition to that, there's also the provision of refuge for people that maybe ignorantly they were involved in the murder of a particular people. So they're to stay in a particular refuge. So
I don't have a question regarding that, but then let's continue.
All right, so then 36 talk about how the inheritance of each tribe must not be passed across from a tribe to another tribe. So each inheritance for a particular tribe should remain in that tribe. So now let's go in detail and what stood out for us in each of the verses, each of the chapters.
Yeah, so thank you so much. You made mention of something about them sharing and allocating the boundaries, like for the borders, so that this actually showed, God had ordered everything, and this would actually avoid mistakes and conflicts amongst them,
because every one of them were involved.
Yes.
So it won't be like they cheated a particular tribe, because each tribe has a representative.
Yes, and he had actually selected leaders that will also help them in regards to that,
so that also
everything will go smoothly.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to ask was that you said something about murder.
Yes.
Can someone commit murder intentionally, unintentionally rather? Can it be unintentional?
I think it is possible. Let's say, okay, during that time they don't have vehicles, or so they can't be involved in all these automobile accidents. But maybe peradventure, maybe someone was involved in a let's say those times they use weapon. So maybe someone was using weapon and mistakenly struck the other person, and person died.
So that could be an intentional murder. So for our listeners, I hope you've been able to get what intentional murder could mean.
That's intentional murder is when you do it.
Unintentional murder, rather.
Okay, so unintentional murder can be when that was not your plan. It was an accident. Let's just say it was an accident, but it led to the death of the person. So for that, there is a provision that God has made for them. So they have to dwell in the place of refuge. They have to dwell in the place of refuge, such that it is until the chief priest, the high priest, die. That's when they are allowed in back into the camp. But if peradventure the person escaped from the camp and from the refuge,
place of refuge,
yes. So and the avenger of blood sees that person. There's something about avenger of blood, that's someone that can ask, let's say, so the relative of the person that was killed. The relative of the person that was killed now sees that person inside the camp. That person has the right to kill that person, the person that ran out from the place of refuge. Because
what about the aspect of the priest and all? Can you able to explain that too?
About the priest, until the priest dies, that's when. So I think that is like a punishment, or instead of it's still like a punishment that God has made in place for them. So it is until the priest dies, that's when the person is allowed into the camp. If the priest did not die, so we don't know how long the priest is going to stay alive. So it is until the priest dies. So it's a form of punishment, even though it is unintentional, but it's still a form of punishment. So
I also learned something from that same chapter 35, and that was in the last verse, which was, do not desecrate the land in which you live in. I live here too. I, God, I live in the same neighborhood with the same people of Israel. So
Yes.
this means that God is in our midst.
Yeah, God dwells in with us.
He dwells in our midst. He dwells everywhere we are. So do not make your environment, do not desecrate the land.
Yes.
Because God is in our midst and He lives even your house, your household, your different hostels, your different homes, your
Yes.
family house, it can be anywhere, the church of God, anywhere that you are. Have the consciousness in you that God is there.
The same thing applies to our hearts too. Because God indwells in our hearts.
Yes.
So our hearts need to be pure for
And
God to be there. Yeah.
Our heart is more or less like the home in which God
temple
dwells.
of God.
Yes.
Because God dwells within us. So
our body is the
has
temple
to be
of God.
clean.
Thank
Our
you.
needs to be pure.
All right. I hope we've all gotten one thing or the other from here.
Before we end, there is this last verse. This last verse about how the possession of a particular tribe must not be passed to another tribe.
Another tribe.
So
yes, we could see that from the
last chapter.
The daughters of Zelophehad.
Yes.
Like how they were just the only daughters that he had before he died, and they were trying to get their own inheritance. And God said
they should.
The inheritance has to stay in
that tribe. Yes.
So they had to marry
from that tribe. So it's the same instruction that was given to every tribe at this and this last chapter, that each of the inheritance for a particular tribe must remain in that tribe. So it should not be passed across to another tribe. So it's telling them that each tribe must marry in their own tribe and not marry in another tribe. Yes.
Thank you, everyone. And well, we could see that God actually gave a lot of instructions and regulations, commands to the people of Israel through Moses, and Moses heeded to quite a lot of them, and that's one of the good characteristics of a good leader. Obedience. We must be obedient
to the leading and direction of God.
Yes. So it was wonderful, reading the book of Numbers.
Yes. Walking through this journey with you.
We learned quite a number of things, that we do hope that you don't forget and you keep in your heart. So
with this, we come to the end of the book of Numbers.
We are done. Finally.
Yes, we come to the end of the book of Numbers. So we are expecting to see you in the next episode. It might be us, it might not be us.
Yeah, it might not be us. Might not be hearing our voices again.
And you still might. Yeah, so we can't really say at the moment. All right, so.
But then expect us anytime, any day.
Yeah, all right.
We still want to come back here and give you all the spiciest gist in the Bible.
Yes.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it's very nice.
It was so nice having you here, right?
Yeah, you too, Orolua. So the grace and peace of God be with you guys. All right, bye.
Don't forget to read the book of Deuteronomy. Continue reading. Don't stop at Numbers. Thank you. Bye.